The prospect of changing the constitution in the Democratic Republic of Congo is raising concerns of a potential constitutional coup for several reasons, largely rooted in the country's tumultuous political history and the current political landscape. Congolese political and civil society leaders announced an alliance to rally against constitutional changes they say are meant to ensure President Felix Tshisekedi keeps power indefinitely. Here is our cover report from Kinshasa. The Democratic Republic of Congo is witnessing a massive political upheaval. Politics in this Central African nation is dominated by infighting. Opposition has accused presidents of the past and present of being autocratic or dictatorial. They also allege being targeted and convicted by the government of the day. The latest spanner in the works has been put by the current president, Felix Tshisekedi. His administration has proposed constitutional changes that are meant to ensure he keeps power indefinitely. Tshisekedi has sought reforming the law that limits presidential mandates to 2 terms, calling it outdated. Members of Tshisekedi's party say that the current constitution was written from a position of weakness because the country was embroiled in a war.
When we talk about human rights, we're talking about rights that are essentially recognized in the Constitution. And Felix Antoine Tshisekedi and his camp don't respect any rights. So it would be theatrical to see DRC attend the Human Rights Council today when Tshisekedi doesn't respect human rights.
Congolese political and civil society leaders formed an alliance to rally against constitutional changes. Named National Awakening, the coalition will hold its first meeting in mid-December to pay tribute to the 2005 referendum, which gave birth to the 2006 constitution.
This regime is on a hunt for opponents. Opponents who only speak the truth, opponents who are there to act as safeguards.
Attempts to change the constitution of the Democratic Republic of Congo only exacerbates existing citizen distrust in government. Congolese are bearing heavy burdens. Profound insecurity characterizes the country's east, where scores of armed groups operate. Millions have been displaced, and the threat of interstate war persists. Over 23 million Congolese are food insecure. The country is the epicenter of a deadly mpox outbreak. The president of the DRC has made little progress on the most pressing issues confronting citizens since ascending to office under highly irregular circumstances in 2018. But in the wake of his re-election in the flawed elections of 2023, he has identified a new priority: changing the constitution. Tshisekedi's predecessor, Joseph Kabila, also tried to extend his time at the top, flirting with a constitutional change and ultimately opting to stay in office for 2 years past the expiration of his mandate. The fear of a constitutional coup is not unfounded in the context of African politics. Several leaders in the region have successfully extended their rule by altering or even abolishing constitutional term limits. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni removed age limits and term limits from the constitution, allowing him to stay in power since 1986. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame amended the constitution, which could potentially allow him to stay in office until 2034. Burundi's late president Pierre Nkurunziza's decision to run for a controversial 3rd term in 2015 led to widespread violence. If such changes are made in the DRC, it would effectively allow Tshisekedi to remain in power beyond the 2-term limit, which critics argue would amount to a constitutional coup. Africa Bureau, WION, World is One. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.